Oh, hello. Today, we're going to have a look for an incredible creature who loves to climb trees, just like me. But they live up here full time. Today, we're looking for a common tree snake. These beautiful little creatures are found all the way up the east coast, right the way into the tropical north. And they're amazing. They come in almost every colour of the rainbow. I've seen them in bright blue, I've seen them in green, I've seen them yellow, gold, black. They're incredible. I can't wait to show you one. Now, I just have to get out of this tree first.
As you might have guessed, we're looking up today for a common tree snake. Come out, wherever you are. You can find these beautiful creatures all the way up the east coast of Australia, but today we're looking in Sydney. They are one of the most common snakes in backyards, parks, and even in inner city gardens. And we're lucky because common tree snakes are active during the day. However, they are some of the best tree climbers. They're very well camouflaged, so if we're going to find one, we really need to keep our eyes peeled. As I'm looking into the canopy, I'm scanning for a flash of colour, maybe any sign of movement, even something that might look like a vine. I'm also keeping my ears open too, as birds really hate tree snakes and will scold and chatter and chitter, so we've got to keep an ear out for that as well.
Oh, you so I can hear something. Quick. Here. Right here. There we go. Look at this. This is what we've been searching for. This is a beautiful common tree snake. These snakes are harmless. They don't have any venom or nothing that can affect us, and they don't like to bite. In fact, the worst thing they can do, and it is pretty disgusting, is they produce this disgusting smelling liquid from their bum and they smear it all over you. Whoa. Look at that long forked tongue. He's trying to check out what I am. While we were searching down there, I heard some birds calling. Little songbirds. They hate snakes and they always make a whole lot of noise to let other birds know that there's a snake in the area. Even though these snakes won't eat birds, these snakes only eat frogs. All the birds like to let everyone else know that there's one nearby. Now, you can see he's got these beautiful blue flecks all the way through his skin, and that's part of their threat display. When they feel threatened, they will puff themselves up, fill up their little lungs, and they spread their skin out to show these little blue flecks. And that could give a would-be predator a bit of a fright, and then they can make their getaway. These snakes are actually very common in suburbia, especially in Sydney, where there are still a lot of frogs on the outskirts of the suburbs. And these snakes are often found around houses. They like to run along the gutters. They go along the gutters and then down the drain pipes, because that's where a lot of frogs like to hide. You'll also get them up in the trees, because quite a few frogs will spend their day up in the canopy pretending to be a leaf. Now, this is a wild snake, so we don't want to interfere with his day too much. We're going to let him go and he can get back to doing what he does best, hunting frogs. So, off you go, little fella. Look at that, he blends in perfectly with the slightly yellow leaves.
All right, we're back in the lab. And today we're lucky enough to have a beautiful little common tree snake. It's a pet snake, so after today,
it'll go back into its little house. The scientific name of the common tree snake is Dendrelaphis punctulatus. And they're a beautiful species that comes in just about every colour. Now, this one is the standard sort of Sydney type, and they're in a lovely olive green with a beautiful yellow belly. So this little common tree snake, she's got beautiful big eyes. And as you can see right now, she's staring intently at me. She can see my eyes and she feels like I'm the threat, which is why she's showing me her tongue. Look at it go. These huge eyes are crucial for her hunting technique. She cruises about in the canopy looking for frog movement, and as well as looking for frogs, she's looking for danger too. Things like kookaburras and other birds are huge predators of these little snakes. The reason they're so good at climbing is their long, thin, lithe body, and they've got a secret weapon to climb as well. If we look closely at her ventral scales, that's the belly scale, you can see there's a line which runs down either side. And this is actually a hard-edged keel. And I can just catch my fingernail against it there. And she uses that to press against the bark. They can move very, very effectively straight up vertical tree surfaces. These snakes are non-venomous. They don't have any venom to subdue their prey item. Instead, they tend to muscle the prey item down, and often frogs are swallowed while they're still alive, and the snake relies on the stomach acid to kill the frog. You might be thinking, how can a snake like this find frogs tiny enough to eat? Her head's only this wide. She'd need to eat tiny frogs. Well, don't be deceived. They can actually eat food items that are much, much larger than their heads. And they do this by having a jaw which isn't joined in the middle. My jaw goes all the way across, but with a snake, their jaw does not meet in the middle, and that allows their mouth to expand to huge size to eat big animals. I wish I could live in a tree sometimes, but I don't think I'd be quite as good at it as these little snakes. I think that's all for today. So until next time, stay wild. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out our other videos. And if you could, hit like and subscribe.